Down goes number 1, 4, number 6, and number 8. What was this week's college football? It did not disappoint. Hey, what is up, everybody? Welcome back to The Fair Catch. I am your host, Emilio, joined as always with my co-host, Tyler Ward. And we're ready to jump into today's show. We had an amazing week of football. Before we do, though, we're going to ask that you take a moment, like this video, share it, consider subscribing to our YouTube channel. And also, you can find us on Instagram at Fair Catch Show. Go ahead and give us a follow. We'll be dropping lots of content there on Instagram as well as right here on YouTube. It was possibly the greatest week one in college football history, but so many other amazing stories. Tyler, before we get into our show today, I want to ask you, what was the biggest surprise for you in football last week? Was it the Arch Manning debacle, Texas just kind of not looking like themselves? Was it Alabama getting mopped by Florida State? Was it the Bill Belichick blow up that we saw on Monday night? Or was it the Micah Parsons trade? Because that was kind of crazy too. What was like the most shocking for you?
For me, it'd probably be Alabama, because I've never seen Alabama not be physical and not want to hit and never outworked, you know?
It seemed like that.
Under Saban, they were locked in. There's
like all these stories and stuff coming out too that they're like up all hours of the night, ordering room service late and all. I don't know if you heard about that.
I did not
People
hear
are like
about
tweeting
that.
all this stuff that's like, and Kalen DeBoer is like, I think he's getting on the hot seat. Like, you know.
Yeah, I mean, he's such a good coach. He's won everywhere.
Yeah, he has.
And then he came over here, and when you replace Nick Saban, you're held to a lot higher standard.
You start at different places and you build up. It's one thing. You have so much grace. People give you a few seasons, 5 and 7, whatever. Nick Saban's last game was a college football playoff game. You know what I mean?
So he should have been able to pick it up from there.
Exactly.
And it's just so competitive now.
It was so crazy.
You can't be outworked, especially for Alabama.
Amazing college football week. So let's not waste any more time. Let's jump right into our first segment today, college football. So many people said that this was going to be the greatest week one in college football history, and I got to say, I don't think it disappointed. The only way that it disappointed is if you were a Texas or an Alabama fan. Then we were pretty disappointed.
Yes.
Very disappointed, actually. But let's go ahead and dive into some of these recaps. Let's talk through these games. Let's look at Texas, Ohio State from a fan's perspective, but also just from a college football perspective. What was your takeaways from the game, man? We watched it together. What do you think?
My takeaway was I wanted Quinn back.
Yeah. Took Quinn for granted. Oh, man.
I was trying to get him down here from Miami. But when you start thinking about it, man, Ohio State's defense was really good.
Lights out.
Like you said last week, Patricia, he's lights out against rookie quarterbacks.
That's his thing. Yeah.
And then they have the best defensive player in the nation.
Yeah.
Caleb Downs. And with that, Matt Patricia plus him, he could do whatever he wants to on defense. Show different looks, different pre-snap looks.
Yeah.
Everything. And I think with Arch being a Manning, his uncles were so good at pre-snap and seeing where they're going to go with the ball.
Yeah.
And then when you see a cover zero and then everybody drops out, then you start second-guessing yourself.
Yep. 100%.
So it's really hard to –
absolutely.
I think Manning's going to bounce back.
I do too. I have some faith in him. I don't think this is what the whole season's going to look like. No. I think that, I do think he's going to bounce back. I do got to say, I got to give a little bit of props. Texas's defense kept us in the game though. Without them, it could have got way uglier. What's really interesting though, I want to pull up some of the stats here from the game. Check this out. I'm going to read out all the stats and we're going to guess who. One team had 16 first downs and one team had 11 first downs. Texas won that battle. One team, total plays, 67 plays for 336 total yards of offense. The other team, 54 plays for only 203 yards of total offense. Texas won that battle as well. When it came to rushing, one team had 37 attempts for 166 yards, and one team had 34 attempts for only 77 yards rushing the entire game. Texas won that battle. One team threw for 170. The other team only 126. Texas won that battle as well. Isn't it crazy? There are two things that Ohio State won. That is time of possession and the goddamn football game. Like, what the heck happened, man? Like, it was crazy.
I did not know that stat lines were like that. But that first score was penalties.
That's it.
We had them both times in penalties, gave them an extra shot at it.
The first time they scored, we talked about it that day, Texas had three and outs that, like, essentially in one drive. 3 downs, and then it was a hands to the face or something. And then 3 downs and a pass interference.
Yeah.
And then we held them on the goal line 3 times, and they scored on a 4th down. I mean, like, they did everything they could, man.
And then our safety got called back for hands to the face, too.
Yes. That could have been a big turning moment too. A free kick is in the air, and
I think it'd been like it would have been 2-7 then.
Yep. If you would have told Sark like a week out of the game, Ohio State's only gonna have 7 points in the first half, and they're only gonna score 14 total, I think he would have bet his life that they win the game. Yeah. There's no way he thought we weren't scoring more than 14 points. Yeah. But can we talk for a second about how un-Sarkisian like the whole scheme of the offense seemed that whole game?
Yeah, I didn't really see any motion. I didn't see anything
like pre-snap.
Like I mean, maybe Manning and Sark were kind of on the same page with what they seen pre-snap, and they just went with it. Yeah, and not that's an NFL defensive coordinator, who learned under Belichick,
right? But if you think about it, Sark has, I think it was with Atlanta for a while. He's had his time in the NFL. He schemed up some amazing offenses, and that's his whole deal. He exposes the defense pre-snap by having a guy come in motion, so you see, are they going to be in man? Are they in zone? What are they going to do? And then, a lot of play action to see how the safeties react if you get them coming down. I didn't see any of that. And another thing that was alarming was I don't think that Texas's receiving core is as fast as we have been in the past.
We lost a lot of speed.
A lot of speed.
A lot of speed.
And go ahead.
And then Ohio State's secondary, they lost their defensive line, but Ohio State's secondary are all coming back from national championship.
All national championship.
So they're not new to this.
No, they know exactly what they're doing. It was so slow pace that it took me a while to wrap my head around what I was watching until I was like, it's the 4th quarter, and if we don't do anything, like, we're gonna lose this game. It was just so odd. Yeah, like, it did not seem like, you think back 3 years ago, the Texas team that came out and almost beat Alabama in Austin. I mean, flying around, playing with fire, got ahead early, deep shots to Xavier Worthy, things like that. 2 years ago, we go to Tuscaloosa, beat Alabama, same thing, flying around, Quinn's taking chances. Everyone's kind of a little bit critical of him because he's just flinging the ball, floating, all that stuff. But he took some chances, threw some good balls. And then even last year, we go to Michigan and we play a physical game in Michigan. We control the line of scrimmage from the very beginning, all that. I just didn't see it.
No, we came out flat.
Didn't see it.
And just no speed. No. We did run the ball.
Yeah.
We run the ball pretty good.
We have that tandem, that 2-man backfield that's going to carry us a long way. We need to quit with the quarterback draws, though.
Yeah, do an RPO or something.
And he stop. I mean, the boy can run, but his legs are going to be best when they go into a cover, 4 or 6, and they come in a nickel package, and 5 of the guys drop into coverage, and there's 30 yards of open field in the middle. Then his legs are going to work. But we don't need to be gambling with a Manning, to just.
And then when Sark gets in the red zone, like, his play call is like it's like Spanish. He doesn't know how to read it anymore.
It's so crazy.
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
I mean, that's essentially why we lost the game to Ohio State last year. Red zone, couldn't score.
No.
On the 1 yard line, strip sack, return for a touchdown. Oh, yeah, that's painful. We could talk about this forever. Yeah. Let's just hope things go. We're going to look ahead to Texas here a little while later in the segment, but there's a few other games that are really shocking to us, some other upsets around college football. Big, like top 10, top 25 upsets. Why don't you take us through a couple of them?
So, like the first one we talked about earlier, Alabama, Florida State.
Right, yeah.
Alabama didn't seem like they were ready to play at all.
Yeah, flat.
And Florida State, that quarterback, he has something out for Alabama. He really wanted to win. I feel like if he lost every other game this season, he's still happy because he beat Alabama.
Yeah.
But Bama couldn't stop the run. 4 out of their 5 running backs had 3.5 yards to carry. That's what they averaged. For Florida State.
Really?
Yes.
It's a lot of fresh legs in the game.
Yeah. So they couldn't stop the run.
That's crazy.
And it was pouring down rain over there. So
it was, but it just went down to coaching. Like, not to just keep doubling back, but I mean, a little bit of that in the Texas game too. We didn't talk about it, but penalties were another thing that just killed Texas all throughout the game. Both of those teams that are just, a lot of people saw them facing each other in the SEC championship, both potential playoff teams, both potential national championship teams, just look so out of sorts, you know? Yeah. But you got to give credit to Florida State. I mean, they were dogs.
Yeah.
And
last year, they were.
It's a different team.
Yeah, it was a different team.
It is and they hit the portal pretty hard, and they brought a lot of people in, and it's a coin toss. Here's my thing on Florida State, though. We've seen a lot of teams, be it Miami last year, come out red hot week 1.
Yeah.
And you're like, they're about to kill it. And then they just fumble through the rest of the season. I'm not saying that's going to happen to Florida State, but it's going to take more than just one game.
And that Alabama team, yes, the score, but it was a little bit closer than that. They had a couple Florida State had a couple breaks where they were able to do it, but the way Alabama was playing, not running the tackles and stuff like that, they should have blown them out.
They really should have.
Alabama still kept it close.
Yeah, so, that is crazy.
Yeah. I don't know.
Lot to see from Florida State still for the rest of the season, and then Alabama too. Hopefully they get things going. I mean, it doesn't hurt us. We don't really play them this year.
But it was crazy. Like, they had Texas and Alabama as the winners of the SEC, and we both laid
took
an egg.
A big L.
Yeah. That's
crazy. One game that we had differences on all last week, you had a lot of faith in Clemson and Cade Klubnik.
Yes.
I did not. I'm still not like, hanging my hat on LSU as much as other people are, but another game, another upset. You saw it going the other way.
I did. Yeah. I am very high on Klubnik.
Yeah.
I think I'm kind of biased because he's from around here.
Yeah. 3-time state champion.
But it's the same thing every year. They don't ever give him a running game. You're not going to – they only had 31 yards rushing the whole game.
All game.
You can't –
You cannot.
You can't – you might be able to beat some other school, but you're not going to beat LSU or you're not going to ever win the ship.
Nope. Nope.
You got to be able to run the ball
and
stop the run.
Right.
And that's too much pressure on Cade.
Yes.
To get it done.
Yeah.
And I was high on it. I thought like
you
I
really
had him
did.
For Heisman.
You were telling me you're like he's going to be up there with Arch or Heisman.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't even know if Arch is going to be up there at the end of the year now at this point. Man, yeah. So that game didn't really go the way they thought, but that was another one of those games that it wasn't upset, but you flip back and forth, watching a few different games or whatever's going on, and it never really seemed like they were totally out of it.
No.
It could have really had moments where it could have gone both ways and stuff, but
it was a really
just
good
held
game.
on. Yeah.
It was a really good game.
It was really good. Here's something that's interesting, though. We've mentioned Florida State. We've mentioned Clemson. And Miami went out and got a win over Notre Dame. Is the ACC back? Like, what's going on? Like, we haven't had this much excitement around the ACC in ever. No.
That and then we started watching North Carolina. I was like, okay, this is the best division of football.
Right. But all of a sudden.
Nope. It didn't happen.
Not for them. Not for them. But a little bit of promise. Another thing that's worth talking about, too, just for a second, is the fact that Florida's expected to be a dog. Florida State came out. They were a dog. Miami. And a big narrative in college football that's been going on for a long time is that places like Texas, Alabama, Ohio State, they've been going into dirty South Florida and taking all them recruits. But if those three programs get their things in line,
especially Miami,
and
they're already down there. If they
that's what I mean. It's like Texas went through a season where people were leaving Texas, but now the top players in Texas go to Texas.
Yeah.
That's not the case in Florida.
No, a lot of those boys go to Ohio State.
Yes, they do.
We see that.
We see that.
Yeah. And then also another matchup, I think they played Thursday. Boise State lost to USF.
That is
University
so true.
of South Florida.
That's true too.
And I feel like those guys, it's still Florida.
Yeah.
They're still athletes. They might not go to Ohio State or anything like that, but you can't sleep on them.
You can't.
And Boise State thought it was going to be an easy win.
They sure did. And they were a ranked team, right?
Yeah.
We're going to go over the rankings here in a little bit, but I think they fell out of the top 25 after that.
They should.
Yeah, they should.
I mean, Boise State, I think they slept on them so bad. That fake punt was actually a backup quarterback and nobody caught it from Boise State.
So they were just sloppy.
Yeah, they were sloppy. Special teams is still a very important part of it.
3 phases of the game.
Hey, there's a quarterback back there. This is probably going to be a fake.
He's probably not going to kick the ball. That is so true. Man, all right, we'll be able to look out for Florida because that's a narrative that could change college football at large if they start stealing some of those recruits.
If Miami can get that program going in the right direction, they're going to be tough.
They need to get like Michael Irving to be like, director of football moves or something. You know what I mean?
I just watched that documentary. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, I know. Yeah. He should just lay low for the rest of his life. He's dodged a lot of things. Man, let's take a look at our new top 25 that we have. So Ohio State jumped to the top, which is a no-brainer, beating the number 1 team. They're already number 3. Penn State is number 2, but we didn't really get a good glimpse of what Penn State is. Or
I mean, they won pretty good, but I mean, until they beat Ohio State or Oregon or anybody that's
they're going to have to go through the Big 12 gauntlet and see.
I feel like it's the same conversation every year with Penn State.
LSU beating Clemson, got them up to the 3rd spot. Georgia comes in 4th. I think they stayed at 4. They were already at 4. I think they stayed at Marshall. 4. Exactly, So I'm pretty sure we could put a team together of friends and probably go take Marshall. Miami is at 5. Oregon is at 6. Texas fell from number 1 to number 7. Personally, I think it was a little low. I saw them being about 5. I think that I would still put Texas over in Miami or in Oregon, but Miami has that big win. And so you have to respect it a little bit. They beat a ranked team, and so I can kind of see that.
Did you see that catch in Miami?
No, I did not.
Dude, it was good.
Yeah?
Yeah, the dude was like jumping backwards and just snagged it.
ODB
touchdown,
style.
yeah.
That's crazy.
It was a good catch.
Clemson, Notre Dame, South Carolina round out the top 10. A lot more to be noted, some things. But the big one is Florida State goes from being unranked to number 14 in the country. That is a huge jump.
Yeah. What did Alabama move to?
Alabama fell to 21. And they look like a 21 team.
Yeah.
You know what? If you're going based just on performances, Alabama, it would be fine if they're out of the top 25. This is a whole thing of like, do you rank people based on their pedigree, what they've done in the past, who they are as a program, or what they put on the field? Because if you do just based on what we saw, Florida State could be in the top 10, Alabama could be out of the top 25. Easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Alabama's still got 5 stars.
All over the place. Yes. That is true.
3rd string is still, and they had the best recruiting class, I think, this year. Yeah. So
that is true. I feel
like if they can get there, but they say either you have it or you don't. But if they can figure that out and play physical in the Bama style, then
that's
still
so true.
25.
It says right here on this card, Alabama, the lowest they've been ranked since 2008. It's almost 20 years ago. They've never been that low. That is something to think about. That's something to think about. We do a whole video just on Alabama. We got Tennessee, Indiana, Texas Tech rounding out the top 25, and Utah coming in at 25. Taking Boise's place. And I heard Utah, I did not get to watch the game, but they were the only team from the Big 12 really that showed up. They got a win. They represented.
Well,
TCU, I guess, did too. Yeah, they did a big thing.
No, but Utah,
yeah,
they spanked UCLA.
That's what I heard.
And Nico left Tennessee. They're winning in UCLA.
Not so much.
That's
what I talked about too with who's the coach? Is it Kelly out at LSU? I mean, I guess they did get the win, but he left Notre Dame thinking that he could make a national championship with LSU, and Notre Dame made it last year.
Yeah. Brian Kelly.
You never know, man. You never know how this is going. Let's go ahead and look to the future this week. What's coming up? We got some big games in college football. Not as big of a week, though. There's only one top 20 matchup in all of college football, and that's actually where ESPN College Game Day is going to be. It's number 18 OU versus number 15 Michigan, and that should be a good one. I think that's in Norman, Oklahoma, is it not?
I believe so.
Yeah.
I could be wrong.
Yeah. What do you think about that game?
Neither of them played a top 25 matchup.
That's true.
25 team. They both look good.
Mm-hmm.
I like, and as a Texas fan, this is hard to say, but I do like OU over Michigan.
Yeah, me too.
Especially Michigan's linebacker suspended for the first half on a targeting call.
Oh, really?
I don't think it was targeting. I don't know how you get, like he spun off of a blocker and just quarterback was there.
Yeah.
He hit him.
Yeah.
So now he's suspended. But OU's quarterback, I think, is pretty good.
That's what I've heard. I heard some really positive things about him. Both programs are coming off a year where they weren't where they have been in the past. Michigan, obviously, 2 years ago, national champions, but last year did not. They looked a little flat, and OU's just stumbled coming into the SEC altogether. Could be a big statement game for both of these schools. Anytime you get College Game Day in there and you play under the lights and you have a big deal and you all have the nation's attention, it's a time to really make a stand. So I hope that we see like a nail biter. I hope that it's like a 1 or 2 point game and it goes all the way down the wire, because games like this are great for college football all over. It's why you go to OU. It's why you go to Michigan, to play in games like this. And I have no care. It'd be cool if they both found a way to lose.
That would be awesome.
Honestly, obviously that can't happen, but I really, I think a slight edge just go to OU just a tad.
Their quarterback for OU had like 300 plus yards.
Didn't he break Baker Mayfield's record? Did you hear that?
No, I did not hear
Baker Mayfield had a record at OU for the most yards in a game for a rookie or a freshman quarterback. And this guy broke it. It's been held since Baker. And so, he went off and broke all kinds of records and stuff like that.
I did not know that.
Yeah. A couple other things that we're looking forward to this week. Number one, we want to see our Texas Longhorns and how they bounce back and respond. They play San Jose State at 11 a.m. Central Time on ABC. And I hope that it's just one of those games where we need to put up like 80, and just get our juice back. You know what I mean? I don't know what else to say about that.
If it's 14-7.
Oh, my gosh. If we don't score more than 40 points, I'm going to be biting my nails.
Yeah.
But
I don't think they might have negative points with our defense.
Yeah, our defense is just cold.
It's nasty.
Yeah, it really is. Obviously, wanting to see how Alabama plays against UL Monroe, and I think that's a bigger test, because the way that they looked on both sides of the ball.
Yeah,
we need to see, like, what are they about? Like,
my buddy's a Bama fan, and when he was watching that game, he texted me and seeing if he could take Arch. Like, it was that bad.
Yeah,
it was that bad.
Take Arch. That's so funny. That game is at 6:45 Central Standard Time on the SEC Network. Big game for me that not many people are talking about. Number 6 Oregon is playing unranked Oklahoma State. Now, that's in Eugene, and they're like a 35-point favorite. Like, people don't. But being in the Big 12 for so long, there's one team that you just don't know. Yeah. And it's Oklahoma State. They always come out. They always got 1 or 2 guys on their defense that just ball out. They'll end up with like some running back or some quarterback that's like was raised on the backside of a farm somewhere and has this like unreal strength and turns into a superhuman. And so they haven't had the success that they've wanted in the past, but Oklahoma's always one of those teams that on the right day, they just show up and they could take any team the distance. That's at 2:30 on CBS and Paramount Plus. Any games that you're looking forward to, or any other things that for college football?
No, just the Michigan OU game. I'm excited for that in Texas.
Yeah, me too. A little bit of hometown news. Texas State Bobcats here where we're filming in San Marcos, America. They went and put up over 50 points against Eastern Michigan last week, and a little earlier than normal on our schedule, but we have the I-35 rivalry against UTSA, University of Texas at San Antonio. That is a game that's gone back and forth. And last year we actually won. And this could be the first time in program history that we go back to back. The Bobcats could beat UTSA back to back and kind of hold the reins in that rivalry. And I'm just going to be bold. You're going to hear it first on the Fair Catch show that I believe that as Texas State exits the Sun Belt and enters the Pac-12 next year, they're going to do so with the Sun Belt Championship. I think they're going to go, they're going to win, and they're going to be Sun Belt champions this year, and they're going to storm right off into the Pac-12 next year.
They're never going to give it back.
Yeah, they're just never going to give it back.
They're going to have to buy another trophy.
That's right. Just like Texas did with the Big 12, So that is awesome, but I'm excited to see that.
UTSA kept up with A&M.
Yeah, I texted you.
For about 3 or 4 minutes.
Yeah.
And then
And then you texted back, you're like, it's going to get ugly quick. And sure enough, it got ugly quick. But it's going to be a great week of college football. We're super pumped. Why don't you comment right now what game you're looking forward to? And out of the games that we mentioned, that especially that OU and Michigan, why don't you go ahead and drop what you think the score is going to be? Who's going to win? If you're a Michigan fan, leave it in the comments. If you're an OU fan, leave it in the comments. So much football to talk. We're still going to get into a little bit of NFL. We have some fantasy news coming up for you in another segment. And then we just want to talk all things football news to wrap up tonight's show. So without wasting any more time, let's get into a little bit of NFL. Well, the NFL season is officially upon us. It kicks off this week, Thursday night, 7:20 Central Time in Philadelphia, with the Cowboys taking on the Eagles, and seems pretty fitting. It's the defending Super Bowl champions versus the drama-filled.
What? The upcoming champions. Come on, man.
Oh my gosh. Every year's the Cowboys year. We watched that podcast. Tyler watched the podcast, And I think since like 1971, every year's been the Cowboys' year. It's like,
well, there was a time right there in the 90s.
For 4 years.
Yeah. There was a time.
yeah, sure. Another thing I noticed about the Cowboy fans, all my buddies are Cowboy fans. Every good college football player is somehow going to end up a Cowboy. It's like you're watching and it's like, oh yeah, we're going to draft him. It's like, you can't draft every quarterback in college football.
Jerry can. Jerry believes that he can.
Yeah, okay? He really does think that he can.
And we just have all those first round picks. So
that is true though. I wonder what my
Jerry, if you're listening, go get Caleb Downs.
Jerry, if you're listening, just let us go to the Star and film this podcast there. Just put us on salary. We'll talk all good about
I'll take $40 million a year.
I'll say every good thing about the Cowboys you want me to, Jerry. But let's take a segment right now in NFL, and let's just go through Pick Ems. Let's go through every game for the weekend, starting with Thursday. Here's what we're going to do. We're kind of going to do 2 birds, 1 stone. We're going to pick them outright, just straight up winner, and then we'll give you the spread on the game and tell you if we think that they're going to cover for all of our bettors out there that are putting parlays and stuff together for this week's game. So starting with the Cowboys at the Eagles minus 8.5. Who are you taking, Cowboy fan here?
Money line, I'm gonna take the Eagles. I don't trust my Cowboys just yet.
Yeah.
And we get hot in the playoffs.
Just wait, you gotta make the playoffs. You can't get hot. You gotta. I'm taking the Eagles too, and I'm taking them to cover. I think they're gonna cover.
I don't think no. 8.5 is a lot.
So you're taking the Cowboys.
I'm taking Eagles
for a pick 'em.
Yes,
but you'll take the Cowboys on the spread.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm taking the Eagles outright. You know what? Honestly, and we won't get into detail about every game like this, but I don't think that CD's going to come out red hot. I think it's going to take him a little while to get rolling.
Well, Pickens is there too.
That is true.
I mean, our offense, our receivers can. Yeah. I mean, Dak is really good in the regular season.
That is true.
Just regular season.
That is true.
But I don't know. 8.5 is a lot of points.
Yeah, but another thing to consider is that Philadelphia's defensive backfield's pretty good. Yeah, it is good. I mean, in order for them to win by like 2 touchdowns or even like 10 points, essentially 8.5 is saying like a field goal and a touchdown.
Yeah,
something's gonna have to happen. Like Dak's gonna have to throw a pick that's out of character early in the season or something like that. If this was playoff time, then I would say 2 picks.
I think also they see each other all the time. Dak knows that team. The Eagles know this team. Mm-hmm. It's always been close.
Yeah.
I do think the Eagles win. I think they're they probably have the best.
But by a touchdown, field goal. Yeah. Closer than 8.5.
Yeah, I think it's closer than 8.5.
Gotcha.
Cowboys will cover, but Eagles will win.
Gotcha. Friday, 7:15 p.m. on the 5th, we have the Chiefs at the Chargers. Chiefs are minus 3 points. How do you have that game playing out?
I'll take Chiefs and the cover.
Yeah, same.
The Chiefs everybody's high on the Broncos and stuff like that, which they're going to be really good. But the Chiefs lost 1 game last year and went to the Super Bowl. And they've been to every AFC championship since Mahomes has been there. I'm not going to.
Since Tom Brady retired. That's the real truth. Because Mahomes never beat Brady. Come on, let's be honest.
I said he went to every AFC championship. Then Brady beat him.
Oh, well, Brady beat him in the championships twice. And then he beat him in the Super Bowl when he was with the Bucs.
Yes.
Mahomes never beat Brady. And he'll have to live with that for the rest of his life. Starting with our noon game slate on Sunday, we have the Raiders in New England taking on the Patriots. Patriots losing 2.5 points. I have the Patriots winning and covering the spread. Yeah. We have the Steelers that are headed to New York to face the Jets, and the Steelers are minus 3. What do you got on them?
Steelers.
Yeah, covered.
Yes.
Same.
Rodgers is going back to the Jets.
That is crazy. Week 1. Is that on purpose? I wonder.
Probably.
Yeah, you think?
But he's going to cook them.
I mean, he should.
Yeah.
That whole thing was the biggest hype story when he went to the Jets, to just for him to just break a leg, not the right way. You know what I mean? That was terrible. We have the Dolphins going to Indianapolis and taking the Colts, and the Colts are minus 1.5. What do you have there?
I'll take the Dolphins.
Me too. That's one of the upsets. My first upsets. I'll take the Dolphins to beat the Colts there. Cardinals are at the Saints, and Cardinals are minus 6.5. A touchdown there. What do you have?
Give me Cardinals and the points.
Yeah, same. Giants are headed to face the Commanders. Commanders are losing 5.5, down 5.5 on the spread there. I have the Commanders winning the game, but I don't think they cover that spread. I think it's a field goal game right there. So I take them in a pick 'ems, But I don't take them in a bet. I would take, if I'm going against that, I think the Giants keep it closer than that.
With Russ, Neighbors, and then the Giants might have the best defensive line in football.
I know. It's crazy, right?
Yeah.
Things that they have going on. Panthers at Jaguars. Jaguars -3.5. For me, I'm taking that outright. What do you got on that game?
I'm going to take the Panthers.
Yeah.
I think the Panthers will beat Jacksonville.
Really? Big upset.
And if you want, I'll take the points too. Give me 3.5 and take the Panthers. I'll take them.
Wow.
Jacksonville.
Just not doing it for you.
Yeah. And then the Panthers got hot at the end of last season. I feel like
their quarterback is the Alabama guy.
Bryce Young. Yeah.
I wish we would have had this podcast last year to talk about how he looked in a helmet for the first time. Do you remember those memes?
Yeah.
He looked like a bobblehead. Yeah. Dude. He's so tiny. That is crazy. Bengals at Browns. Bengals -5.5. I'm taking Bengals and the points.
I'd take Browns and the points with the Bengals. The Bengals, they got to show me that they have a defense before I start taking the points. Bengals are going to score a lot, but they're just going to.
So you think they win the game in a pick 'em?
Yes.
But they don't win by 5.5.
No, they're not going to. I don't think they cover.
Close game.
Yeah.
So you'll take the Browns if you're betting. Yeah. I said on the last podcast, something about it I feel like this is Joey B's year. Like, I just feel like he's going to have a breakout year. But yeah, I guess you're right. A lot does depend on like what defense they can do. But I mean, he has it in him, and he's had weapons. Like, I don't know another quarterback that has come into the league and just been given the amount of weapons, especially early on when he had Jamar Chase, T. Higgins. They had another tight end guy that was sick. Joe Mixon in the backfield.
Yeah.
I mean, it was
really good. And then their defense is really good. Sam Hubbard just retired, and then they just got Trey Henderson back.
The defensive lineman, end? That guy's insane.
Yeah, he's good. But their secondary, it's just a bunch of young players.
Yeah.
Not saying they won't be good later, and the Bengals are famous to start off slow. And then it's just really are. We have to win every game to the Super Bowl to even.
Yeah.
And then they figured it out.
They find a way.
I don't think they're going to cover 5 points.
Yeah, the 5-point spread there. We have Buccaneers headed to Atlanta to face the Falcons, and Bucks are -2.5. I'm taking the Bucks and the points. I think they'll cover that against the Falcons.
I'll take Falcons.
We're going to switch.
Give me 2.5 points. I'll take the Falcons.
Really?
Because last year the Falcons were leading that division until Kirk Cousins hurt his shoulder and just kind of fell off. Like, he couldn't throw a ball anymore. But they're leading that division.
Is he starting for them?
No, Penix is.
Oh, Penix. Yeah.
But he's not. He's good.
Penix is
good. And we'll see. Just to make it interesting.
I was watching them do a comparison on Penix and Lamar. Is he that athletic?
Oh, I don't think so.
No.
I don't think he's that athletic.
He used his legs in Washington.
Yeah.
But he's not Lamar. Yeah, he's a
Lamar's
different. Yeah, he's a different guy.
Yeah.
That is
Lamar
true.
doesn't even look like he's running. He's
just gliding.
Yeah.
He's like Prince.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard that? Prince doesn't walk. True story.
I can see that, though.
He glides everywhere, apparently. Titans headed to Denver to take the Broncos. Broncos -7.5. I'm not that crazy about the Broncos. I mean, I know they're going to have a defense, but why is everyone going crazy about the Broncos?
Their defense is nasty.
Yeah?
Yeah, defense is sick. And, I mean, I would take 7.5. Give me the Broncos plus the points.
Well, in a pick'ems, I take the Broncos, but I don't think they cover. That's my opinion.
I think they cover.
I would think because you got to think about it. If they win by a touchdown, they don't cover.
I think they can get a touchdown and a field goal and
win by 10.
It's going to be really hard for the Titans to score.
Yeah,
Titans defense is good.
Defense is good, and they don't have like too many like stars on that offense anymore, do they? The Titans.
I mean, they started to figure it out last year. I mean, they did get blown out by the Bills, but they started to figure it out. Bo Nix, I like Bo Nix, and then Courtland Sutton.
Oh, you're talking about the Broncos?
Yeah.
I'm talking about the Titans.
Oh, the Titans. Yeah.
What big name is on the Titans?
I don't know. Maybe
Me neither.
Maybe some of those players that went to North Carolina.
yeah, some of those guys. The Titans need to hit the transfer portal.
Yeah, they need to do something. They got Tony Pollard, and that's their offense.
That sounds good until you say they used to have Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, who cares about Tony Pollard?
And A.J. Brown.
Yeah, exactly. 49ers headed to Seattle to take the Seahawks, and they are -2.5. I'm taking the Niners and the points. I drafted CMC was my keeper in our keeper league, and I'm hoping that he comes back. I want him to score at least 2, maybe catch 1, have a big day. What do you think about that game?
That's interesting. That's a tough one. The Seahawks and 49ers. I'll take the 49ers.
Yeah.
In the points. They'll cover.
I think that they'll win maybe by 5. You got to consider the home field advantage might be a 3-point swing for the Seahawks. The 12th man out there. They have a great stadium, great fan base, but I'm going to take the 49ers to cover. Lions at Packers. Packers -2.5. This is an upset. I'm taking the Lions to win outright. So I don't think that the Packers cover because they lose. What do you think about this game?
I don't know. That's pretty tough. Lions plus... Packers are favored. Packers are favored?
Packers are, favored. 2.5, -2.5.
Give me the Lions and the points. The Lions will win and cover.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Well, you don't need the points. If you're taking the Lions, it's an upset.
Well, if you take the points, then they got to win by more than a field goal. The Packers.
The Packers do.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, taking the Lions as well.
Even though they have Micah, whose back looks a lot better than it did a week ago.
All of a sudden?
Yeah.
All of a sudden, he's at 100%.
$188 million to help your back out.
Yeah, you can do a lot. It's a lot of massages. Texans at Rams. Rams -3. Another upset for me. I think the Texans are going to come out swinging. I think they're going to pick up a little bit where they left off last year. I'm actually going to say that they're going to beat the Rams. Texans beat the Rams. What do you think?
I can see that too because Matthew Stafford he's been kind of hurt.
Yeah.
He hasn't really played yet. But the Texans, they got Nico. Mixon's out, so they're going to play Chubb.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take the Rams.
You'll take the Rams.
Yeah. You got Puka.
And they cover?
Yeah, they'll cover.
They'll cover the 3. So Rams by more than 3.
Yeah, you got Puka, Devontae Adams, Kyron Williams. They're going to be good.
All right, we're keeping score here. This is like a few of the ones that we disagree on. So I'm going to take the Texans to upset the Rams. Last game, Sunday night for Sunday, and then we'll get into Monday. But this is the biggest game, I think, of the weekend. I'm excited to see this. I've been keeping up with the Bills on Hard Knocks. I don't know if you've been watching Hard Knocks, but I've been watching on HBO. So I've fallen in love with Josh Allen and everything going on up there in Buffalo. But Ravens versus Bills. Bills are favored to win -1.5. I'm taking the Bills, and they cover. I think they win by 3 points.
I'll take the Ravens.
I knew you were going to say that.
I'll take the Ravens.
It's a coin toss. You know, both teams. These are two teams that I think if you had to pick two teams that are up due for a Super Bowl, it's one of these.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's just really great to watch.
So, with that, who's your Super Bowl right now? Who's your Super Bowl pick?
Oh, that's tough.
You could pick one from the AFC and NFC, and then who you think makes it?
That's a good question.
Other than the Cowboys, sorry.
Other than the Cowboys, Cowboys are the NFC pick. I think I'm going to take the Bills out of the AFC. I really do. I think that I've watched the Bills closely for so long, being a Patriots fan. You know, same division, AFC. And they've just done something right. I think that Cook got his contract extension. They have a good old line. Josh Allen might run it back as the MVP. Who knows? You know, he's a generational talent. He's just huge. He's like 6'5", 260, you know, and he's sturdy. He's in his prime. I really like him. I really do. And then I don't know. You know what I would like to see? I don't know if I'm ready to say what's going to happen out of the NFC. I would like to see the Commanders just make a deep playoff push, though. I think that would be really cool.
But them and the Cowboys can't do the same.
Yeah, that's true. It's got to be one or the other. Yeah. You know what? For all my friends out there, I'm going to say Cowboys, Bills, Super Bowl. What is this, 54? No, we're way past that. 56, something like that. Let's just say Cowboys, Bills. Let's just go out there. I get one mulligan mid-season.
So you have Bills winning the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I think so.
I think the Ravens are going to take it.
You do?
Yeah. They were so good last year.
It's hard to argue, man. Yeah. It's hard to argue that. Yeah. So you're taking them outright, upset. Take them in the pick 'ems. I'm taking the Bills, and I think they cover. I think they win by a field goal. Monday night, we have 7:15 kickoff. Vikings at Bears. Vikings -1.5. They're favored by 1.5. I think they win by a touchdown. I think they win by 7 points. I'm taking Vikings to cover.
Yeah.
Because
the Bears are the Bears.
Caleb Williams is garbage juice.
He got a coach that's all about timing, and Caleb Williams has never been good at timing.
Did you see that video? And he couldn't even throw it into like the aiming targets or whatever. He like missed the entire thing altogether. Yeah. Then he's like throwing a fit. He's like taking his helmet off. One thing that you want an NFL quarterback is you want him to be cool, calm, and collected no matter what. You want him to be a leader, a franchise leader. You want him to be someone who's level-headed. He can talk to the media. He can make mistakes, swallow the pill. Now, it's one of the things that I like about Arch Manning is that, I mean, obviously you have to have the talent, so we're going to need to see a lot of improvement in him. But the way that he has been like, I don't know if the Mannings train their kids to work with media as much as they do to work on football, but he's a stud. He's humble. He's level-headed. You know, he has his swagger on the field, but he knows when to turn it on and off. And I don't care for Caleb Williams as a player. Like, I don't think he's very good. I didn't like him that much at Oklahoma. I didn't like him at USC. I thought there was a lot of hype around him. I haven't seen it in the NFL. But then all the extra stuff too is just like, I just don't care for him. Yeah. So I don't think the Bears are going to do much of it.
I stayed in fantasy. Even in fantasy, I stayed away from everybody. Yep. I did get Loveland. That's the only one I'll gamble on because he's going to try to. He's going to use his
Michigan tight end guy. Yeah,
he's going to use his tight ends if anything else.
He was good at Michigan. I got to see him whenever they played against Texas, and he's solid. Big target over the middle, for sure hands, all that. So, yeah, it's things like that. We're going to talk about it in fantasy in a little bit, but you don't have to have a good team to score points. If you're a for sure thing and you're a guy that your quarterback can trust or you're a running back that can get north-south pretty good, you can be on a losing team and still score some good points in fantasy. So we're going to talk about that in a little bit. But our pick'ems are in. All the lines as of today, we've put it in. I'm excited to see how we both score next week and then what we're going to do overall. This will be a good – maybe we can put like a friendly wager on it or something, you know, could figure out how that goes. But we're going to go head to head and pick'ems every week here in the NFL. Want to jump into some fantasy talk about some different things, how our draft went, what we think about certain players for the week that is to come, and then maybe even some late sleepers or something like that you can pick or see if they're still on the waiver wire, especially if you're in a 10 or 12 man league. So let's wrap this on the NFL and let's pick up with some fantasy football. That's right. It's time for some fantasy football talk. We are coming off our draft. I believe you had 3 drafts this week that you did. Yes. You drafted for like 10 hours of your whole weekend. 10
hours. So, Jerry, if you're looking for a GM and you want to relax, hit me up. I got you.
Yeah, after 3 decades, he's going to settle on Tyler Ward. That'd be awesome, though. You know, don't forget about me. Fantasy football, lots to talk about. By the time this podcast episode's coming out, we're assuming that a lot of you guys maybe have drafted already, but we still want to talk you through how our draft went, give you some details on that. If you are still drafting, then maybe it could be a little bit of help to you. But then also we want to get into some teams that we're high on, some players that we're high on, maybe some teams and players that we see making a big turnaround from last year. And then maybe just based on our roster, who are we starting, who are we sitting, why are we making those decisions, stuff like that. So we are in a 10-man full PPR league with a DPI. And so our league looks like this. We have a quarterback, 2 running backs, 2 receivers. No, 2 receivers, 2 flex. Yep. Defense, defensive player, and a kicker. We draft 15 rounds and we're in a keeper league. And Tyler and I have been in this league for multiple years, so we got to keep a player. The way that we do it, if you are new to the league, then you obviously can't keep a player, but you get a chance to be one of the top 3-5 picks, however many new players we have each season. Tyler and I ended up keeping each a player, and he just so happened to have the 7th pick, and I had the 8th pick in a snake draft. Who did you keep?
Barkley.
Saquon.
I could not give him up.
Yeah. I had a really hard time. I kept CMC for the 3rd year in a row, and I felt really confident about it, and then I started watching all these drafts. Somehow, I had all on my team last year. CMC, Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson. And so I let go of Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson, and I'm kind of kicking myself for it. Yeah. Because people were taking him number 1 overall. Yeah, they're taking him over
Bijan, Barkley,
Derrick Henry.
Yep. I took him. I drafted first in one of my leagues and took Jamar Chase.
And what is terrible is there's a guy in our league who kept CeeDee Lamb, ended up with the number 1 overall pick, and got Jamar Chase. Yeah. That's tough.
So he's stacked.
Yes.
Then he also picked up Higgins too. So he has.
Yeah. I'm just hoping that he just has a terrible bye week and just, I don't know, he'll be a terrible game manager. Who knows? If you're watching, I hope you lose. And – but now that I think of it, if I would have kept Chase, CMC might have been there by 7 or 8. Do you think?
Maybe.
There's a chance, right? That
I could have kept it quiet. Not really. Yeah. I think he would have still been there.
Man.
Well, I might have taken him.
You might have taken him at 7? Yeah, maybe. Okay, so you're at 7. I'm at 8. Projections came out. I got an A, as always. You got
A plus.
A plus. Projected number 1 overall in our league. What was your projected record?
14-1.
14-1. I was 13-2.
Even though I'm projected to lose this week, so I guess I'm gonna go on one heck of a run.
One heck of a run, lose this week. I'm projected to win big this week.
Really?
Like 157 to 120 something. But the guy that I'm going against took Joe Burrow number 1 overall, and then took Rashid Rice at like 4, and he's suspended for 6 games. So he didn't really know what he was doing. But it was his first time in our league. His first time playing overall. But you're 7. I was 8. Number 1 overall. I got projected number 3 overall, 13-2 or whatever. And I feel like it was a tough spot. At 7 and 8, it feels like forever before it comes to you. And then forever before that snake comes back. And I was really sweating. This is the first time for me where I really erred on the side of caution with my draft. And I almost played it strictly next available. Not entirely.
Yeah.
I had to get creative on like when I took a tight end at this position at 7 and 8, late in the turn. I had to just wait till the last 3 rounds for defensive player, kicker.
Yeah.
I had to just keep eating whatever good wide receiver and running back was there. So it was tough.
Because it was so long before you get it back.
Yeah.
So like if you felt like there was going to be somebody there, they weren't. They weren't going to be there.
Nope.
Like 10, you can draft back-to-back. So you're like, I can take this guy higher.
Mm-hmm.
Not that one. But at that position, it's real tough.
It's tough. It's super tough. What were some of the biggest picks for you? Who did you feel like who was your number 1 overall pick? So you said this already and I already forgot.
Genty.
You did, yes. Okay, this is so crazy. Last week on the podcast, I talk about how Genty could be potentially a top 5 running back. And Tyler texted me because he wasn't on the show with me last week. And he's like, I was listening to the show, and when you said Genty top 5, I almost wrecked my truck. And then he takes him in the first round.
Hold on. But it was a keepers league. So there was already 4 or 5 running backs that have been kept.
Yeah.
And it was either him or Josh Jacobs, which I think is going to have another good year.
Yeah.
Because Josh Jacobs they're just going to feed him the rock.
Yeah.
And with Golden at receiver, it's going to open up the running game a lot more.
That is true.
But I just, like you said, I took best available, which fantasy agreed with you.
Yeah.
And he was above Josh Jacobs, but he was there, and there was already 4 running backs gone.
That is crazy.
So I think they're gonna give it to him a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he's gonna have a great year. I need to pull it up here. Who else was your biggest picker? Like, take us through what do you think? Some wins, some late round wins, and different things.
I think my late round win, and I had him. When I find a player in fantasy and I think it's going to be a steal, I get him in every league, and sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah.
And when it doesn't work out, it really it's a bad fantasy year.
Yeah.
But Emeka Egbuka from Tampa Bay,
okay,
the wide receiver at Ohio State.
Yeah,
he was number 2 to Marvin Harrison Jr. and then to Jeremiah Smith. 2 really good.
How does Ohio State just do it with these receivers?
I don't understand.
It's ridiculous.
LSU too.
Yeah,
man. They just produce them
that's crazy.
like a factory. But I think he's going to be really good right behind Mike Evans. Mike Evans is going to pull the double team and all that stuff. And Godwin's hurt. And by the time Godwin comes back,
they're already going to be like in
first he's already going to have that relationship with Baker. I think that's good.
So you took him in all 3 leagues?
Mm-hmm.
What round?
6. I think nothing before 6.
Oh, okay, that's great.
So those in the later rounds.
That's great.
The one thing I did do horribly wrong is I gambled on Travis Hunter thinking that I could start him in the defensive position.
Yeah, I remember you telling me because someone in our league on Saturday, and you were like, dude, you can take Travis Hunter, put him in a defensive player position, and if he scores offensive touchdowns, you get the points.
Yes. So if you haven't drafted yet, I'm telling you, if Travis Hunter's position says wide receiver quarterback and you have a defensive player, pick him up. You can put him in the defensive player spot and you can get both of his points. He's going to play mostly offense this season.
So you can do that?
Yes.
So why? You were just telling me that it doesn't work.
The app that we were using, he's only registered as a wide receiver, not as a cornerback. But the Yahoo League.
So you have to see him on the app as
yes. So where his position is at,
wide receiver / cornerback.
Yes. And Yahoo it has it like that, and you can put him in your. But if you want to still do it, you get his defensive points.
Yeah, that is true.
Which isn't that much.
That is true. I was surprised that I got an A. I'll be honest. I took A-Chain I kept Christian McCaffrey. I took A-Chain number 1. And then I just went like on a wide receiver craze, right? So,
that's crazy because A-Chain, it gave you a high draft rate for A-Chain, but I've seen everything about Ollie Gordon, the running back from used to be Oklahoma State.
Yeah.
Everybody's really high on him right now. Yeah, and he's the backup.
Well, yeah, because A-Chain was hurt.
Yeah.
And so it just came out this week that he's actually is going to be ready for the game this week. But, I mean, he's got a lot of speed and I don't know. To me, the Dolphins are like just such a question mark. I mean, their quarterback's a ticking time bomb. Yeah. I say that with as much love as possible. Too, if you're listening, I love you, but I'll talk slow so that you can understand me too. Sorry. So I'm high on him. I went crazy. I got Amon-Ra St. Brown. I got Garrett Wilson. This is not exactly in order, but one that I'm really big on is I went and got Xavier Worthy, and I got him at a good spot, like 5th or 6th round. With Rashid Rice 6-game suspension, I think that he's just going to be a go-to. He's small, but he's got that speed. I feel like he's been building trust with Patrick Mahomes. Patty likes to air the ball out when he can. And so I'm just like really high on him. I've always been a big Garrett Wilson fan, so I got him late too. I mean, I'm telling you, I got like 5 receivers all in a row, before I even went back to running back. And I got some late running backs and some sleepers and stuff that I feel really good about. I went ahead and went after Devontae Adams as well. So, I mean, I have names that are household names. You recognize them. You're not like, who's that, But there's no one here that's like, this is like their year, I think that I'm going to have a bunch of guys be somewhere between 17 and 25 points collectively altogether. I don't see one guy necessarily unless Xavier just goes long against like, some team.
Well, they also do like those little bubble screens and jet sweeps and all that stuff with him. And he's got the speed to take it to the house.
He does. But like I've had people like last year when I had Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, CMC was hurt a lot of the year, but I rode this. I mean, there was like 2 games where Justin Jefferson had like 40 burgers. You know what I mean? Like Jamar Chase will have a game with like 55 points. Like, I don't know. Amon-Ra maybe, but there's a lot of question marks around there. Like they're coming with brand new coordinators in Detroit, and they have the culture, but man,
the play caller is very important.
Mm-hmm. So important. And Amon-Ra's he's a dog, but you just never know. And then Christian McCaffrey's a big question mark. We got to be honest. Like I gambled keeping him, so I don't know how I feel about that. And like I said, I was high on Baker. I took him like an 8 or 9, like really late, and he was still there. I think it was around the year we were gonna try to get him, so I got him on the back end right before you wanted him, and I stole him there. So like that pick. I'll round mine out with just a few that I like here. Some of my running backs that I have on my bench, Stephon Diggs. I want to see if he gets hot. I want to see. We were just talking about New England. You were telling me that you feel New England's turned a corner.
Yeah.
I was just telling you that Josh McDaniels is back. Feels like
I went back around that corner.
Yeah. You turned back around. Listen, he's a terrible head coach, but he's a heck of an offensive coordinator. He can draw plays. Okay. We can have a whole conversation about Josh McDaniels, about Bill Belichick. Really, people were saying it too about the boy we were just talking about in Ohio State, the defensive coordinator. Patricia, because he went on his own. He was a terrible head coach. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But apparently he can beat the Longhorns. He can beat the brakes off Texas. So I got Aaron Jones. I'm one of those guys that if Aaron Jones is around, I always take Aaron Jones. He was at Green Bay. There was one season where I took him and Dillon. What was that guy's name? AJ Dillon. Mm-hmm. Monster year for me. Won the Super Bowl. They did so well. I know he's maybe a little past his prime, but I like him. Ramondre Stevenson. We're talking about him. I took him super late, like 12, 13. And but you were telling me that he might end up splitting time because I forgot that Henderson was drafted.
The Ohio State running back. Really
good. But they have that left tackle too coming in, rookie from LSU, and he's a dog, man. I like him. He's
I think
cool.
the Patriots are gonna be good.
So do I.
Yeah.
So do I. So those are two Patriots right there that I'm big on. And then DeAndre Swift out of Chicago, kind of another coin toss. I think he's going to be there for bye weeks, maybe put in as a flex. Yeah. I'm going to have to take him, and I'm just going to have to really evaluate what teams he's playing, what kind of linebackers they got, how Caleb Williams is throwing the ball, how much they're running the ball, all that. I mean, he's someone that's probably going to be one of the first to be dropped if someone pops off and I have a good waiver wire position.
I had him last year, and he was all right, but their offensive line was not. Yeah, they really focused on their offensive line this year.
He's one of those guys which is not good long term, but if he's going to break for 70 yards or 80 yards in a game, he's going to have like 32 touches. Mm-hmm. He's going to be averaging like 2 yards a carry, and he's going to, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. It's really tough. So that's kind of where I sat. I want to encourage you guys that if you do kind of either in a 10-man league and someone like an Xavier Worthy, which is highly unlikely that he's on waivers, but like maybe a Stephon Diggs or Ramondre Stevenson, someone like that is still on waivers. They got overlooked. You'd pick them up. Those are great bench players. Those are people that you can group together if they do end up having a hot 1 or 2 games to start the season, which I think the Patriots can do. Group them together, go trade, go get you a better tight end, quarterback, whatever you were lacking in your draft. So that's kind of my plan here. I'm maybe giving away too much, but how'd you do on tight end?
My tight ends, I got Hawkinson in 2 leagues. I think 2 leagues, and Loveland in 1.
Oh, you were telling me about Loveland, Michigan kid. I was my take on Loveland is just a big guy, big target over the middle for sure hands.
And we've seen what Laporta did last season with the Lions. Ben Johnson likes that little seams over the middle and get his tight end involved, and it's a quarterback's best friend when you're going through all that stuff. So he should have a good season. And they picked him really high, so I feel like they're really high on him.
He's a Viking?
No. Loveland's for the Bears.
For the Bears.
Hawkinson's a Viking.
Right. And Laporta's Lions.
Yeah, Lions.
But J.J. McCarthy, who was Loveland's quarterback at Michigan, is a Viking. Mm-hmm. And you like him.
Yep.
I'm unsure.
I believe in J.J. McCarthy because I believe in Kevin O'Connell.
Oh, okay.
He knows what to do with quarterbacks.
Yeah, he does.
And J.J. McCarthy, he was good at Michigan when he's like a golf. Like, he plays on time. He needs to be where he needs to be. Yeah. And he just puts the ball there. I mean, Kevin O'Connell was telling a backup quarterback, hey, you're going to count this many seconds. You're going to throw the ball here. And it was working. So Kevin O'Connell is he's a genius. He
really is. My thing on JJ, why I'm just like slow, is because he had the best defense in the country by far when he was at Michigan. Great run game, huge O-line. So all the play action he wanted to do, he was a manager more than anything. You know, he really managed that game, but he did it well. He won a national championship. You can't take it away from him.
But I mean, the Vikings have a really good defense. He's got wide receivers everywhere.
That's true.
He's got a good running game, good tight end. I mean, they're really good.
It really could work for them.
Sam Darnold succeeded in that.
Yep.
I feel like.
Yeah. Who do you think, like, let's say people aren't in a keeper league, and we're not just talking running backs, wide receivers, overall, give us your first 5 picks that should go off the board. What does it look like?
Ooh, that's tough.
Yeah.
Chase was my number 1.
Okay.
And then I would go Barkley.
Really?
Yeah. I'd still go
over
Barkley.
Bijan.
Yeah. I just feel like the offensive line and we've seen how they used him last year.
Yeah.
But it's either way. It's just how I feel about it.
Yeah.
Barkley was good, and he moves like he's like 160 pounds, but he can still
his thighs are like tree trunks.
Yeah.
What about the Madden cover curse?
You
ever think about it? Is that a real thing?
Somebody break that already?
Oh, it's been broken? It's not a thing anymore?
I think it was broken, and then Christian McCaffrey got back on there.
Yeah, right.
Then it was done again.
True. Yeah, that is so true. Okay, so Chase, Barkley,
Bijan.
Which Bijan, if you're watching this, hit us up with some Bijan's Dijon. All right, we'll put it right here in the middle. Proud sponsor of the Fair Catch, Bijan's Dijon. Come on, you're a Texas boy. Hit us up. Give us a call. DM us, whatever. We'd love to do it. But Dijon 3 or Bijan 3. Who are you taking 4?
Might go Gibbs. Jameer Gibbs.
Yeah. He's a dog. If you're and I said this last week, if you're in a full PPR league, he's got to be top 3 running back.
He still had like 1,600 yards. He split carries last year. So I had Gibbs last year, And it was driving me crazy in the beginning because he was splitting a lot of carries with Montgomery. Yep. But he still finished with like 1,600 yards and 16 touchdowns.
That's crazy to share the backfield and to have those kind of numbers.
And Montgomery still had 12 touchdowns.
Well, that's because like Jameer would run it all the way to the 4-yard line, and then Montgomery would come in and punch it.
And then Montgomery got hurt for a while. So I think that's really when
that's what helped him.
So if you're taking Gibbs, that is a risk that you run.
Yeah, split time.
Yeah.
Because I would be interested to see, but I bet you most of the touchdowns that Gibbs had, he had from like outside the red zone.
He did.
He popped one, broke one, caught with something downfield or whatever. Okay, and then who's rounding out 5?
Maybe Neighbors.
Over Henry?
Yeah.
Over CMC for sure. Yeah. Over Genty.
Yeah. It'd be Neighbors or JJ.
Oh, okay.
JJ.
Malik.
Yeah, Malik Neighbors. Because he's fast and Russell Wilson likes to throw those moon balls.
He does. Gosh.
But that's you can still, like, that's top 10. I'm fine with taking Henry.
Yeah.
I'm fine with taking Nico Collins. He's going to be good this
season.
Justin Jefferson, yeah.
Any of those people that you can get. Yeah, that's so true.
One person, I mean, I could be totally wrong with this, but I think he's pretty high. He's a lot higher than I thought he would be, is Puka. Not because he's a talent.
Yeah,
He's really good. Mm-hmm. But Devontae Adams is there now. So I don't think he's going to have the same, because Devontae Adams is still
Devontae
a
Adams.
guy.
Yeah, for sure.
So
stay away. You would stay away?
I just don't know if I'd take him first round.
Yeah.
Maybe on the snake coming back, I'd take him. But I see his production going down from what it was. And that's nothing on Puka. He's still an athlete and really good. I just think.
I feel that way about Jaden Daniels. I feel like he's going to have a great season. I feel like the Commanders can really do something special. They're going to maybe try to be in the hunt for that division. Maybe not.
Probably not.
No offense. But it's wild to hear him being talked about. Take him in the first 3 rounds. Crazy.
I wouldn't take any quarterback in the first 3
me
rounds
neither. Ever. Our league. I said it already. Homeboy took Joe Burrow.
Because it's crazy. In our league, Aaron Rodgers went undrafted.
Yeah.
Matthew Stafford, I think, went undrafted.
Well, I only took one quarterback.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go back and play the field.
You can still Matthew Stafford and Aaron Rodgers could start. Like
20+ points a week.
Yeah.
Easy. Especially, So, I mean, you just.
They're both old.
I have won the Super Bowl before, just week-to-week quarterbacks, stringing quarterbacks. Just whoever has the best matchup, picking up, dropping. I would do that with my quarterback and my defense. It's not like preferred with your quarterback.
No.
If you can go lock in someone that's like high tier, and it's scoring points, I mean, it's definitely going to help you. But if you just have the time to go in and look at each matchup and who's playing who and who's, what defensive backfield's not doing so well, that could work for you. But man, so much in fantasy. Really a lot more to talk about once we get through week 1. See some injuries, how all that stuff pans out. Just a lot to come, Next week, I think we're going to talk about some starts and some sits. Who should you start? Who should you sit? Help you develop your what's it called, roster. Trades, potential trades, people to look out for, people who are going to bust, and then really think people that stand out that we did not expect to stand out in week 1 of the NFL. But we're pumped because week 1 is here. It's like full on.
Yeah.
We got high school football in full effect. College football is kicked off, and now the NFL is here. It's just going to be an amazing time. I do want to give a quick shout out before we end today's show to our hometown high school here in San Marcos. They beat the Hutto Hippos. San Marcos Rattlers snapped a 22-game losing streak. I don't know if you noticed, I was only 10 games in a high school season, so that's a lot of seasons losing. They were on a 2-year playoff ban for improper conduct of recruiting players. So the last 2 seasons, even if they would have went 10-0, which
that's why they
went 0-10. Yeah, it was intentional.
They didn't want to waste their energy.
Exactly. They could not make the playoffs, but they're back. They have 4 3-star and above athletes that are all D1 commits, which is unheard of for our small town here in Texas. But they hung up 40-something points on Hutto. They had a 70% chance to lose the game, and they won like 47-17. So they've turned a corner, and I want to give them a shout out. We already talked about Texas State. Say a prayer for our Texas Longhorns. And to all my Cowboy fans out there, this is your year.
There you go. There you go. You start thinking.
This is your year. Unless Josh Allen, the Buffalo Bills have anything to say about that.
Or they could go and lose 4 straight.
That is crazy. That's another conversation for another time. That's a curse. I don't care what anybody says. But, man, we appreciate you guys hanging out with us at the Fair Catch today. We had a fun show. We enjoyed doing this. Like we said in the beginning, please drop a like, a comment, or subscribe to the channel. All of it helps us. Share this video with someone. You can catch us on Instagram at the Fair Catch Show on Instagram. And we would really appreciate all the support. Again, to all of our non-existent sponsors, just DM us and we can work out a bunch of deals. We would love to have this desk full of Dijon mustard and Pepsi Cola and all that good stuff. So we love you guys. We'll see you next week. Thanks for checking out the Fair Catch podcast.